The detention by police in Beijing of Chinese-American venture capitalist and social media celebrity Charles Shui on suspicion of soliciting a prostitute has certainly caused quite a stir amongst China's social media users. The Beijing Times was one of several media to report that Shui had been detained following a tip-off from a local resident. It said he was approached by police officers when he was in the company of a 22-year-old woman in a residential compound in Beijing, and that the pair admitted to involvement in prostitution. 60-year-old Shui, the son of a former top Chinese politician and a naturalized American citizen, has invested in many Chinese internet startup firms. But he's probably best known as a prominent liberal voice on Chinese social media, with more than 12 million followers, or fans as they're known on the Sina Weibo microblogging platform. Coincidentally, his detention comes after state media carried stern warnings for online celebrities, or big Vs as they are sometimes known in China, to toe the official line and to rein in controversial commentaries. Shui is a regular target of more conservative elements in the Chinese internet and media. They say he and other liberals who favour the party obeying the constitution and who also call for more political and economic reform are really seeking to undermine Communist Party rule. In addition to his business interests, Shui has also gained popularity for starting up or supporting social initiatives and charities, such as an online campaign against child trafficking or another aimed at raising money to feed school pupils in underdeveloped regions of the country. So how has news of Shui's woes gone down online? Well, to find out, let's check in with our researcher Julia Liu in the newsroom. Okay then, Julia, what sort of reaction are you seeing to this arrest, or sorry, this detention of Charles Shui?
Well, I have to say, some people in the online community have questions about the coincidence of Xue being caught so soon after this warning went out to internet celebrities. And even Hu Xijin, the chief editor of the normally pro-government Global Times, felt something was strange about this case. And he says, it can't be ruled out that the authorities are using prostitution charge to frame Xue. It's a universal rules by government around the world to use sex scandals to frame up political rivals. And Peng Peng on 10086.cn also seems to view the prostitution bust is just a little too coincidental, saying, "We all know there is a campaign against those who have a big influence online, and those who don't play along can easily become targets." This was Rong Qing Xiansheng 5346 from Shanghai has a more specific question. How did the person who reported Xue know he brought a woman to his residence to pay for sex? Unless they were spying on him or intending to blackmail him. What's more, normally the police never act so quickly on this type of complaints and wouldn't have caught the two at the same. And this poster on Sohu.com seems to view what Xue is accused of is not such a big deal. Well, Xue didn't steal or rob. Soliciting a prostitute doesn't harm society or hurt others. You should call it consumption, which stimulates economic development. However, many more net users feel Xue deserves the consequence of what he did. Shan Renping's remarks is typical. The police did nothing wrong in detaining him since soliciting a prostitute is illegal in China. No one can avoid legal penalties for doing so in this country, and any defense is pointless. Also, Xue should be prepared for public scrutiny as he has chosen to be a political figure. While Liu Xuesong on Sina.com criticizes those who find excuses for Xue. People who defend Xue mention conspiracy theories and argue that dissident figures should be handled differently. This is a double standard and goes against the rule of law. Someone who is really socially responsible and pursues justice wouldn't fall even if there were traps set for them.
Well, whatever about these disputes concerning entrapment and so on, it seems that Shui has admitted to the charges, at least according to all the media reports we've seen. Now, it's also been reported that just a week ago, Shui posted this comment in relation to two recent cases. Now, the post says, "While the judges from Shanghai are trying desperately not to be classed as Johns, the parents of Li Tianyi, who raped a woman, are desperately trying to be classed as Johns." Now, just to explain, this comment refers to two recent cases in China, one involving court officials or judges in Shanghai who were sacked for paying prostitutes, and another involving a number of men, including the son of a popular entertainer, who are claiming a rape they're accused of was actually a case of prostitution. So what's being said about this comment of Shui's online and how it shows up in the light of his detention?
Well, net users who have commented on this are almost universally critical of Xue. 不明了 on QQ.com says the worst thing about Xue's behavior is the hypocrisy. Well, we shouldn't have to tolerate this from Xue, since that he's really in the same boat as the Shanghai judges and Li Tianyi, but thinks that he can still laugh at others. Then Zhang Yuqiang from Beijing says, ironically, well, since he has been caught soliciting a prostitute, Xue has obtained exactly what he was looking for. He should be happy that his dream has come true. And 开心微粉私访记 jokes. Xue is far more capable than Li Tianyi since he achieved the official title of being a John so effortlessly. And another poster also has a sarcastic response. Congratulations to the judges from Shanghai, since they now have a new member of their club. And this poster, Shan Zhonglai, 1978, compares Xue and the young rape suspect you mentioned earlier. You could say Li Tianyi deserves some leeway since he's after all just a juvenile, but as an older guy, Xue is unquestionably a John. And then Ren 1982, who doesn't seem to have a very clear idea of the law in the U.S., refers to Xue's U.S. nationality with this comment. Xue could consider moving back to his home country since soliciting a prostitute doesn't break the law there.
Okay, Julia. Funny, how do net users seem to balance up the previous picture of Charles Xue, the internet celebrity, with what has come out now after this incident? After all, he was is a very popular commentator amongst a lot of people here.
Well, there are mixed feelings, I have to say. First, Wang Ran on Weibo.com has this comment. Xue may have lost his head at that moment, but this doesn't change the fact that he engaged in philanthropy, helped many people start their businesses, and gave harsh but sincere advice to improve society. Wang Yan Ba Fen Zhai, on the other hand, doesn't have such a positive image. He just uses the sale of products he invests in to encourage charity donations from net users. So the social project he is involved in are just marketing tricks. Yin Jianguo on GMW.cn bluntly focuses on saying one thing and doing another. Some celebrities like Xue are incredibly righteousness online, and some net users admire them deeply as opinion leaders. So they enjoy both fame and wealth. In reality, they are greedy and evil, pursuing selfish desires. They are online hypocrites. Yi Nian Xifeng Du Ziliang from Sichuan simply feels that anyone who criticizes others should be sure their own house is clean first. A person with things on their conscience is not qualified to be a public intellectual and point a finger at our party's policies. And finally, I have this warning from the Weibo.com microblogging account of People's Daily. In the internet era, while you are watching others, they are watching you. Whether a government official or a social celebrity, you are supposed to be honest in word and deed and an upright person.
Okay, thanks for that, Julia. And that was China Tech researcher Julie Liu with a reaction online to the detention of a venture capitalist and a popular blogger, Charles Xue, in Beijing recently. Next up, here on China Tech, some of the top trending phrases on China's most popular search engines.